was getting blown out.
Mm. I like the way Chip gets straightened up and everything. Like what?
You're saying, Brian, after you talk about Carlisle like that so bad, it was so shocking.
I know. I was still trying to figure out. I'm picturing Carlisle running track, so he said he was he was a world record, or like he held some sort of reward for that. So I knew Kev ran, but I didn't know Carlisle and Kev could run in the same race together. That was news for me.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, he said he was 4x100, right? He was the anchor or it's the third leg, something like that. He used to be the one to catch up with everybody.
Yeah.
No,
I think he used to run Mr. Lewis, first name Carl.
Carl.
You're wrong for that.
Oh, that's the best. Oh man,
we can get corroboration with my friend Orman, because they was on they both went to Brooklyn Tech on the.
They did. Did Orman, did he run track too, or did everybody run track? Was that like a requirement for everybody at the school, or because that would make more sense to me? He hit me with that. I thought I'm still going to figure it out, but yeah, you're right. Since you're going to put me out there on blast, I got questions. So by way of a quick update, and then we'll jump into some hopefully some timeline building. As of this afternoon, all of our sessions we posted up to and including the very first one to talk about the book have been transcribed. I'll be loading them up on our shared folder here this evening. I just got them in the mail literally minutes before the meeting started. So I did try to use the artificially intelligent transcription service or some things just to see how different the quality is. There are some differences, but what happens is you can watch the video along and it plays along what they transcribe, so you can see where things may be off, and it makes it easy to kind of clean up a little bit. So as far as what I was imagining occurring, it's actually been pretty pleasant to see the words on paper. So I think to me, just it makes it easy to kind of start imagining a book coming together when you start seeing pages form. Each session is roughly 40 minutes or so, and so far, even with the laughter, it's about 30, 40 pages worth of content just off the bat. So once you edit it down, it'll be one good page. But the idea is that we aren't starting from zero, so it's a good thing. So what we were able to accomplish so far is we've gotten origin stories for everybody, primarily kind of what got us to Howard, maybe what got us to major in engineering. And after the last call, as part of the last call, Kev, we started kind of tinkering with how do we meet, right? And, we started pulling some of that together. So we wanted to see if we can pick up with some of that, because it'd be fun to see what we can piece together. I think we're going to need to go back and read the transcripts and see how we start putting some stuff in order. But figured we'd, since you have a fresh perspective and you just got off the plane and you finished your salad, congratulations. We wanted to see if we could spend a little bit of time trying to figure out when we met. So I know you said you were going to start us off with the clearest one you remember was Chip. Is that right? Meet Chip.
Yeah, so that's probably the clearest. And that was a little foggy, but I remember Chip actually when I got to Howard. But you had all the campus power activities going on, and just how many Chips do you know? And then somehow we met, and he was like, "Well, my real name is Booker T. Washington." Like, okay, one of these guys. Okay, sure it is, right? And he's like, "But everybody calls me Chip," and everyone around him was calling him Chip. So I just remember that, right? And so I would see him across campus from time to time, and I was living in Sutton with I think Aunt, you were in Sutton, at least the later years you were. I'm not sure your freshman year. So I remember seeing Chip around across campus because he was kind of popular, it seemed. I was like, who is this cat named Chip? Because everybody seems to know him, and he seems pretty popular. I'm from Denver, so I don't know really anybody. So I just remember Chip being on the yard, and every time Chip was around, everybody was laughing. So I was like, okay, he must be the comedian type. And so, and then it really got crystallized. It was actually years later, probably a couple of years later, when Campus Pals, because he was a Campus Pal. And that's when I really got to know you, Chip, when I joined the Campus Pals. I think you're already in it. And I joined later on and got to know Chip a little better through Campus Pals. So that's my memory of connecting with Chip. He probably don't remember meeting me, but I remember him because I thought, this guy, his name is Booker T. Washington. That's what he tells me, at least. He calls himself Chip. I don't know any black chips, but okay,
Oh, that's the best.
Everybody's always around him and they're always laughing, he's around. And I would see him again going across campus from time to time, and then finally connected through Campus Pals.
Okay.
So that's the one I kind of remember. I know Chip's like, yeah. Okay.
Chip's like, yeah, that's how it goes. Next question. Next question.
So. The rest is a lot blurrier. It seems like I was, I was in Sutton my freshman year. Actually, several years I was in Sutton. I don't remember hanging out with you guys too much my freshman year. I was hanging with my roommate Trevor, and some other cats we were hanging out with, and then so I think we kind of began to come together through Nesby, but I wasn't involved with Nesby till my sophomore year. I didn't do anything my freshman year at Nesby. In my sophomore year, I jumped in and I did like a little treasurer role, and kind of got a little bit involved. And then junior year, I became the regional chair, and that's when I think I began to meet most of you guys, probably my junior year, because we were all more in the School of Engineering. I actually met Lakita long before I met Ant, because Lakita and I were in a pre-calculus class together our freshman year. And so I remember her distinctly being in that pre-calc class. And so that's where I met Lakita. So I knew Lakita long before I knew Ant. I didn't know well, but we knew of each other. We were on the same class and stuff like that. So, so how the rest of it happened, I think it's probably through conferences and conventions. But you guys weren't deep into Nesby. You guys kind of enjoyed the pleasures of Nesby. And I was one doing all the work to make sure you guys had some pleasure. So, not that I'm bitter about that.
Well, no.
It doesn't come across as bitter at all. No.
Hey, I just like to say I appreciate you putting all that effort in. I'm proud of you.
Yes.
And I was your #1 supporter and cheerleader.
Yes.
Until the happy hour started.
Right.
It was all good. So, so yeah, I think the junior year I think we started connecting in a bit. So Todd was in mechanical engineering, and we started having classes together. Because junior year you start taking more your critical classes. I remember Ant was in Sutton. I don't know if you were in your no, you weren't there your freshman year.
No, I was there as a sophomore. So I'm pretty sure I met Chip at Drew. I know we hung out at Drew, I'm sure, because I knew Chip and his roommate, Kevin from Chicago. So I knew that's how I met Chip. So we must have met everybody else through Nesby, because I don't remember. I'm sure we had like the intro to engineering class together, Kev, I guess, but I know Todd wasn't in that class.
I don't think Todd was. I think Chip was.
Todd was probably in that class.
Thinking I had to be.
You weren't. Because Todd started, I think, a semester late. So Chip was in that class. Peter was in that class. Brian was.
Nope.
No, Brian wasn't.
Freshman year.
Yeah, that's right. I came in '88, so you guys were sophomores. If I didn't meet you guys till sophomore year at the earliest. I met Ant my freshman year, second semester.
I don't know how we connected with Carlisle because he was ahead of us. He came in '86. So, I think I started hooking up with Carlisle through Engineering Student Council. But, kind of again, junior year kind of stuff. Started doing activities. And the same with Byron. Byron was, I think, the same thing, student council, because Byron was, I think that's how it all happened with him. But it gets pretty blurry right at that point, like how what was that date that I met Ant?
Yeah,
I remember seeing Ant like hanging out at Sutton with one of your boys from Atlanta. What's his name?
Bernardo, maybe.
Bernardo. Yeah.
No, Nard was in. He was in. He probably came over to Sutton sophomore year, but freshman year we were all in Drew. So
No, but your
Mhm.
sophomore year, he used to hang out with you at Sutton. I can remember
yeah,
him.
probably.
So
Yeah, probably.
So Kev, so was that junior year when we went to Orlando together?
I don't. Junior year, I ran for.
Didn't you run in Orlando? Is that where you won?
I think it was Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know what. I was chapter treasurer, then I bounced to regional treasurer,
Mm-hmm.
regional chair. So I used to remember the convention times. I think you might be right. Because I was kind of all in. I think I ran for regional chair in Orlando. It must have been my junior year, senior year.
That seems kind of late.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah, that seems kind of
You're
little.
right.
But it has to be junior year. You guys are a little bit older than me, and so my sophomore year is my first conference. That was Orlando, my first conference I went to. That was before we started calling them conventions.
No, you know what? Because my sophomore year I was chapter treasurer. My junior year I was regional treasurer. My senior year I ran for chair, and my super senior year I was vice chair. So that meant Orlando had to been.
Really?
I must have run for treasurer in Orlando.
Okay.
What was the conference before Orlando?
It was in Ohio, I believe. I didn't go. It was like Cincinnati or something. That my freshman year. That'd have been 89. I just know 90 was what busted it. You know, the Nesby joint busted open. But that was the same year we hosted the conference at Howard that spring. So we hosted the spring conference and then went straight to Orlando. So that was a season that somehow between those two conferences, you know, that's when it all kind of came together for me. I couldn't. Carla helped me place him later in the picture, but all you guys that are on the call now and Byron, I got to know each of you all a little bit better, especially coming out of Orlando. That was when it kind of cemented for me as far as knowing everybody as a group.
And you know, another question that I have is because I'm sure we had roommates, right, in Orlando, and I feel like I probably stayed with one of, you know, so I feel like we had to be somewhat close to make that decision to say who was rooming with who. But like I said, it's still foggy.
It's very foggy. But I do remember that. I do remember us rooming because I think we wound up watching like NCAA tournament together or something. Like it was. I remember us watching.
We were close by then because y'all were teasing me. Yeah, we knew each other well enough to y'all to be teasing me. We won't talk about what. But
hey man, it's all redacted. It's all redacted.
I have no recollection of any teasing.
The recording will.
Hey. I think I know where he's going with this, but I'm not going to let it off the hook that easy.
There was a particular engagement that would, you know, I was not around for that would have been potentially beneficial for me at that time. That said, we knew, the point was that we knew each other well enough to be, you know, circling wagons on that. So, but that was so we knew each other before that.
Yeah, it was like so somehow that's my sophomore year, junior year for you guys, or third year, right? Second, third year. That's when it all came together. I couldn't piece it all together. I just know by the end of my sophomore year, you know, I knew most of you guys pretty well. And like I said, I always still joke about it because I'm like, I can't place Carlisle on my timeline just yet, but I'm working on it because, you know, everybody else kind of naturally fell through. But I know by senior year, I knew Carlisle because of the ski trip stuff. That's when Ant and I learned that all you jokers knew how to ski, and we did not know how to ski.
I learned that Chip. I was like, this brother knows how to ski. He's from Chicago. Right. Ain't got no mountains in Chicago. How is brother know how to ski?
And his name is Booker T. Washington.
I know. Right? Caliparius. I'm like,
allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I'm not seeing a birth certificate, so there is no necessarily no proof. So I think we probably got close, maybe hosting the Howard Nesby conference.
That's got to be one of the windows.
you know what? You're right, because when we hosted the Howard Region 2 conference, I think I was treasurer at the time. So that was my junior year, fall junior year, we were doing that. And we were all in. So I think, Brian, you were pretty involved with that. I think you guys all kind of got engaged in some form or fashion, whether you just attended it or you were doing some work for it.
I'm sure I helped out, but I'm sure I didn't take on any official capacity because that would have been. That would have sounded
I'm
like
sure.
too
I'm
much
sure.
work.
Yeah.
I think I was in the same boat.
Well, I do know, Todd, that you and Chip would have the audacity to stand in the back of the room when Kevin and I were sitting up on the dais trying to get this meeting moving along, and they would literally wave to us when they were about to leave. Kev, they'd be like, "Don't wait up, we're gonna be out for a minute." Yeah,
I definitely remember that. I remember, Brian and Kevin doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
And they're waving just like, "We'll see you later. We'll see you later."
Y'all going to do that work, but we're going to go ahead,
Like,
Hey,
man, sure do look important.
I appreciate that examples of leadership putting in the work, man. And your families would be proud of you.
Oh my gosh, the funniest. Oh man.
Yeah,
Double O, what's up, baby? Double O, you there? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Good. You look good, man. Like you took a nap and everything, bro. You look good, man.
Oh no, I rushed to get in the house. I haven't taken a nap yet, though. I really want to take one.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's cool. Go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, I was just gonna say that's I think we talked about that last time, but when we hosted the Region 2 conference at Howard, that's when we is that when we was watching the fight?
Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson.
Buster Douglas shocked the world.
Right. Yeah, I definitely remember that.
I remember having to evacuate because there was a fire or something too.
Yeah, we had to leave. But,
yeah, so to me, it's like, to that point, it still suggests that we were
right already.
So even like before, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I still would like to, if it's possible, like still make that tighter. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
yeah,
if we were close enough to clown Brian and Kevin for working and have all that fun, that means that we was,
So was that the regional? Was it the fall conference or spring conference we hosted?
It was spring, I believe. I thought, right? Or maybe it was fall. You never know. Like I'm trying to think. So maybe it was fall because I can't tell what happened in the spring. What would have been the spring conference that year?
I don't know.
Yeah,
spring weren't normally as big. It was a record number, I remember, for that time, like 400 or 500 people. But if it was fall, I mean, that would have suggested we knew each other as sophomores, because our fall conference hits up like October, November timeframe.
Yeah, I got plugged into NSBE in my spring semester freshman year. So I got involved. I remember sitting with Renetta Garrison Toll, and I remember she pointed at me, you, and a few other people, said, "Y'all gonna do great things in NSBE." That was her hook to get us to work harder, I guess. But that was literally the end of my freshman year before going away for the summer. So yeah, I got involved. So I know the NSBE conference, it could have been that fall. I think that's the thing, is that it happened during the year. I just can't remember what happened in the spring. Maybe I do. Would that have been Penn State or something? Chip used to go to Penn State all the time, right?
I feel like I went once, but I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put the timeline together.
Put a timeline, man.
Yeah. No, it seemed like it could have been it, but yeah, so it was definitely that time frame. I just to your point, Chip, I would like to piece it together better. It feels like we're missing like a aha. Yeah. But I remember, because we did joke Kev, because he always seemed to show up right after something would go down in Orlando. And we were like, "Kev, yo man, He's like, what happened?
Had some timing issues there. Showed up a little bit. Always 15 minutes late.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah, that was 90 though. That was spring 1990.
Yeah, 90. So 90, spring of 90?
Yep, spring 90, March 90.
So spring of 90, yeah, that was our junior year.
Yep. Sophomore, junior year for me. And Carlisle was a super senior by then.
No, he was a senior. That was your fourth year because you started in 86, didn't you, Carlisle?
Yes, sir.
That was your fourth year.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's my third because I had to sit out a year, or I took off a year to do a whatever that thing was called, where you took off a semester to go work.
Like extern.
Oh, yeah.
Co-oping?
Co-op, yeah. Yeah, I did two semesters or a semester and a half of a co-op.
Dig that. Wow.
Didn't
That
know
would
it.
have been, as I said, but senior, so that spring 90 is kind of a hook point because I know, let's just say Ed, when did you host us down at your spot in Atlanta? Was that 91? Junior year? Was that junior year we went down there? Must have been.
Was that I don't remember did we do Atlanta more than once? I know we probably did it more than once.
Yeah, we did it more. We slept on your floor more than once.
Yeah, like we knew your mom and your dad.
Right.
Well, I remember it had to be 91 or so because I didn't have a car on campus until junior year. So I know that would have been because I think we drove down. I remember driving down to your spot. I'm just trying to piece it together.
All right, here's a random question because I vividly remember when it was some road trip we did. Remember with the Quiet Storm?
Yes.
Skip Murphy in the morning.
Skip Murphy in the morning.
What year? What was that? And where were we going? Does anybody remember?
We were coming back from Atlanta, I think. On
Mhm.
that one.
That was
Coming
when
through North Carolina.
That's right, through Charlotte. That's right, through Charlotte. And
Yeah.
Kev, this is when we weren't very bright. We were smart, but we weren't very bright. We waited till after dinner on Sunday to try to get back in time. Yeah, to get back in time to go to class on Monday. So
it's only 10 hours. We can leave now and be back by 7, 8. We'll go to class. Yeah.
Sleep. Who needs to sleep?
We remember like what was that a spring break thing or was it?
I think we went down there for the Morehouse Spelman homecoming.
yeah, we went down for the game for sure. That I remember.
Hey,
that
And we stayed at Ant's place.
But what year?
Ooh.
That's what I'm trying to see.
So I'm gonna throw out 91.
Think it was that late?
No, because didn't you have your van by then?
91. I had my van in 91. I actually had a car before that, but the van made its rounds. Yeah.
But we weren't I don't think we were in the van because I feel like we were in different, because I remember kind of like when we would pull over, like it was almost like we kind of, at least my memory, like we convened, like, man, was y'all listening to such station? Like,
yeah.
I know.
I think I had my car at that time. My little.
You did.
You
The white
did.
car,
Toyota.
the white Tercel.
You did. Because Kevin, one of those trips, Kevin and I went down, like, it was just me and you, Kev.
Yeah.
We were rolling in your car, and I remember leaving 127 and rolling down to Atlanta. I think everybody else had already hit the road, and I don't know why me and you, I guess we had stuff to do or whatever, but yeah, it was. And I remember listening, as we were going through North Carolina, listening to Skip Murphy, and jamming off of that.
Yeah.
That was just 91ish because that's when we hit.
Yeah, 90.
It would, but we went before that because there was one trip I wasn't driving. I don't think I had the car. I think we drove. I don't know if we rented something or what, but y'all gave me the wheel for like 5 minutes. And so it was like 4 of us in the car.
That's right. Brother had narcolepsy. We didn't know. He said long road trips put me to sleep. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, no, it's all coming. It's a good blur though, because I think that's the thing is that I'm starting to tap into all the other road trips because, like I said, I know I did road tripping from because sophomore or junior and senior year for sure, we were between Nesby and just road tripping. We did a lot of movement at that point.
Well, let's see.
The same trip where Aunt brought Lakita. You know, he was like, we were talking about Aunt Lakita. I remember vividly. Aunt was like, "Yeah, I'm in love with her." We were like, "Whoa, love!" The bond has been broken.
Not the bond.
That probably would have been spring semester, senior year.
Your senior year,
Yeah.
Spring break trip.
We did spring break. We did spring break the senior year too.
Okay, so I was spring '92 then. So this we took another one before then because we had done this road trip before. That time when Nikita came, I think a couple of the girls came too, in their own vehicles. How they got them?
Yeah, so that probably would have been spring '91, maybe.
I'm thinking 91. Because Jill came with us one time. Remember that?
That was the same trip that Ann was like, "I'm in love." We were like the first one down.
Man down, man down.
Oh, man down.
Hands down, man down. Oh man.
Well, let me
Yeah,
ask this: Carlisle, what summer was that we did the internship in Michigan? Because that's when I met Charmel. And I'm piecing it together because I remember, I guess, when we went to Atlanta.
Yeah, that was for the trip.
I already knew her then.
You did.
That was based on that summer. So what summer was that we interned all in Michigan? Do you remember, Carla?
I was. It's unfortunate that Byron's not here because I don't remember what year that was.
That seems kind of early.
But that
would have been early.
Yeah,
because you all did Michigan before y'all did Chicago, right, Carlisle?
That's correct.
I know, because I know I hung out with you guys in Chicago during that summer.
Same. Yep.
So that would have been summer of 90. That would have been summer 91 when y'all did Chicago. So Michigan would have been the year before, the summer before that. So Michigan would have been 90.
90.
Because I'm wondering if that one of those trips, which I guess still would line up with 90. Well,
fall 90, I would have had a car. So that could line up because remember, Chip, that was when you were telling me about Charmel, and I didn't know her. I didn't use her name like that. It was Sherry for me. But I remember we went down to see. That was during one of those unofficial Howard Morehouse weekends. We went down and rode right up to Spelman like we didn't know any other place to go because the GPS didn't go anywhere but Spelman. And I know she was like, "Oh, I'm tired. I got to get up for the game." And we talked to her a little bit longer. Next thing you know, her and the girls were hanging out right outside the gate. You know, Chip was popular.
I knew those other girls in Spelman. Because remember, I think we ended up staying at a Spelman dorm, after hours when we wasn't supposed to be, because one of the girls that I knew was an RA, and she let us come, and stay.
That's right. I remember that.
No, that was 90.
That would have been fall 90.
Okay.
So that's after Orlando.
That's right. Spring 90 was Orlando. Fall, I'm saying it. So from Orlando, it started being, let's go hang out, let's do stuff and move that way. So I know it definitely kicked in from there. I just, it's sometime in the fall of '89, and that could have been where things were. I don't know. So that's where.
When did we move into the house?
That was 91.
Yep. Yeah, fall 91 or summer 91. Yeah, summer 91.
Summer 91.
So let's what was everybody doing summer '89, if you could remember? I don't know. I can't remember who I might have been working with, because I know I did AT&T like 87 and 88. I don't remember where I was in
89. Is that Chip? Were you still in Inroads in '89?
I'm not sure, because I know. Man, I'm gonna find an old resume or something. Huh?
dot matrix printer. Yeah.
You know what? That's
What-
though when I
word
got to
perfect.
go, I think summer '89, I interned at General Motors that summer. I wouldn't hang on to you guys, but Lakita also interned at General Motors that summer also, I believe. I don't know if you and Lakita were together at that point yet. Were you in?
The summer that
We'll record it now.
you all
Remember.
worked in Detroit.
Careful.
It's all redacted. It's all redacted, bro.
Careful.
Oh no,
I remember she was there and Sharon.
yeah, she was there, and
Sharon. I remember
Sharon was
Sharon.
there, and KP from Morehouse, and a couple.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember the crew that was up there. I think that was summer '90, right?
90. You might be right.
That
Yeah,
was summer of '90.
You're right. You're right. Summer '90. Because I knew her, Sharon. I knew Sharon. So I knew all the engineering kids pretty good at that point. So that was summer '90. And I think you were pretty close to her because I remember you talking about, you knew KP and you were talking about.
Right.
So yeah, we knew each other.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I know we were close then because I knew that, I knew who she was staying with. I knew all the people y'all were hanging out with.
Yeah.
So, and met most of them over the years, but yeah, I don't remember '89. I do not remember. Now, what summer was it that you all did like the NSBE? There was like some NSBE leadership conference somewhere.
Oh, in Raleigh.
I don't remember where it was.
It was in Raleigh.
That was the first time I got introduced to meditation. So I was like, that's why it stood out to me because that's what I remember from the event. But that was in Raleigh?
Yeah, it was at North Carolina State. I remember that. Remember that. That would have been 90, summer 91. Summer 91.
Yeah, I think that was another one. I don't know how I got.
Actually,
I think I just kind of rode you guys' coattails in there.
It may have been 90. I don't know. That was one of those L Leadership Institute things, Kev, from back in the day.
Yeah, those are kind of a blur to me. We did NC State. We also did the AUC Center a couple of times too.
I remember that. That was.
I think we did NC State first.
Mm-hmm.
And the AUC.
Because I remember Kev there's a picture floating around that had, you were in it, Aunt, me, you, Kev, I think Holly, some other folks. We were all in it together. It was definitely in Raleigh. I remember that.
I'm gonna look for some old resumes. I don't know where. I'm sure I got something. Okay.
Just in case.
You make me feel real old right now because there ain't no digital version of that resume at all.
Right.
Pull out a napkin with that joint on there.
Yeah. We'd have to retype that on the typewriter.
Tick, tick, tick. It's the best.
It's kind of like we're titrating somewhere between 89 and 90, and we kind of solidified.
Yeah, I think we.
I feel like something went down in '89 that we are not remembering.
So that
was that the first ski trip was '89? When was the first ski trip, Carlisle?
89.
89?
Yeah, I didn't go. I know I didn't go to that. I went to the later one. The one where y'all got the folks from Morgan State to go with us. That trip, I went on that one.
I think we only did one trip though, didn't we?
That was
two.
That was either 91, 90, 91. I think the Morgan was 91.
Yeah, as I said, I was on that 91 trip. I remember that.
I know we did at least. I know there was two trips because there was one. Hopefully, I'm getting them mixed up because I know, was it the same damn trip? Because I think the Giants were in the Super Bowl or something.
It was a Super Bowl weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that. Yeah.
That was the trip I was on. And
you definitely did too.
Was your first time skiing the first time I skied, or did you go before?
Because we were. I just remember going again, and I was like, I'm good on the skiing.
Right. Well, I know it was a multi-day trip, and after that first day, I made my way to the hot chocolate and the hot tub. So I spent more time where it said hot, not cold.
Right. I was like, I think I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, when did we go to Carnegie Mellon? Did we do wasn't there a regional conference at Carnegie Mellon? I don't know if it's fall, spring, or whatever. And so I wasn't sure, was that or was that like ski trip? Where Carnegie? Where the hell is Carnegie Mellon?
Pittsburgh.
What?
It's in Pittsburgh.
It's always been in Pittsburgh.
It's always been in Pittsburgh. It's always been in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
You made it seem like Carnegie Mellon was supposed to be in Baltimore or something.
Right?
I was thinking like, yeah, I was thinking not in Pittsburgh, but somewhere in Pennsylvania, but I wasn't thinking Pittsburgh. I
Maybe
thought,
think
so was
Drexel. So Drexel was that would have been
We did a
pretty
conference
sure.
there.
89. That could have been the spring conference in 89.
Because Roy Gundy was engaged with all that stuff back then.
Yep.
His sister.
Mm-hmm.
That was I don't think we ever did anything at Carnegie Mellon.
No, we didn't even drive by there and pick some people up, or
I mean, you may have did a little run we didn't know about. But
Hey, it's all redacted. It's all redacted, bro. It's all redacted.
It's a safe space.
It's a safe
Except
space,
for the
man.
recording.
I'm just saying the recording can be altered.
no habla inglés.
I'm just
no
saying it's Chip's gonna write up some language so nothing gets out that we don't want to get out. That's all.
Right, that's right.
I was trying to find it. Yeah, because that's the at least for me, there's some conferences that pop up for sure. I just can't I can't figure out where they are.
It had to be my junior year, man, because I don't think I was hanging with you guys my sophomore year much. I was in the band and stuff like that. I was just doing the Nesby's thing as a chapter treasurer, but it was like low level sort of stuff. I don't think I was really engaged that much with you guys.
So so Kel, when were you Region 2 chair? 91, right? 90 to 91?
So let me see, 88, 89, I was chapter treasurer, 89, 90, region treasurer, 90, 91, I was regional chair.
Because you were chair after that.
Yeah, 91, 92. So my junior year, 90, 91, I was treasurer, 90, 91, 92. No. Yeah, that's right. 91, 90. No. That's not right. That's not right. 80, 88, 89, chapter regional. Shit.
That's why we're having this.
That's why we're having this conversation.
Sophomore year, I was chapter treasurer. Junior year, I was regional treasurer. So junior year must have been 89, 90.
Mm-hmm.
My fourth year, 90, 91 is my fourth year. I was region chair. 91, 92, and my fifth year when I was with the national board, what's that program?
I thought you were national chair, man. You weren't the chair?
That was when I was in grad school.
Ah, okay. That's what threw me off.
Yeah, I skipped it. My first year of grad school, I didn't do anything. My second year of grad school, I was chair.
Because that pieces together now, because I know I was Region 2 chair 91, 92. 91, 92.
Were you? I thought I was
I
gone
was.
when you were chair. I was still at Howard?
We had a
No, yeah,
really,
that's right. Yeah. Because I was a national programs chair. We were.
that's right. It was a bunch of us. We basically could have ran our own meetings at Howard. We had like 6 people from Howard on the board.
Right. You had a board meeting in Northwestern. I remember that. I was trying to help you out.
Yes.
Oh, brother, ouch.
That's fun.
A long time ago.
That was a long time ago, bro. You didn't hit me back, man. You know we playing Howard's playing Northwestern next year for football at Northwestern for their homecoming. Yeah.
You know what? It might be an even game. Northwestern sucks.
Hey, that's true.
I mean, they built a $400 million training facility.
Yeah.
That helped much, and they're building a brand new stadium right now, paid for by donors.
I love it. Yeah, I got Don Comer sent me a note about it and said, hey, I think we're playing you guys for our homecoming weekend. That's where all the Black folks come out for them. So
Okay.
I said I might have to make a trip, just
Yeah.
Chicago is early. It's like October, so it should only be cold. It shouldn't be freezing yet.
Yeah, it's manageable.
Yeah, that's good. So, but
So
yeah, we did
she
have
was
a
from
meeting.
Northwestern.
Yeah,
Was
she
that-
started
She
at
went to
Northwestern. She started at
Okay.
Northwestern, and then she went to A&T. I think she finished
did
at
she?
A&T. Yeah,
Mm.
I thought she
Yeah.
finished at Northwestern. She finished at A&T.
yeah. She went to A&T and finished up
Okay.
there.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was one of those road trips, Kev, where we rolled up to like Case Western or somewhere and met them.
That was Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah, on the way to Carnegie Mellon, we stopped by on the way. But I do remember going to Cleveland. We went to Cleveland because I remember staying with them, and they were like, these guys from Howard just sleeping in our room. We're like, yeah, we need a place to crash.
Would you mind?
I'm just saying, it's just lifelong friendships come from that stuff. So it was good. Yeah, this is good, man. So here's the deal, because even though this feels like a struggle, it's actually coming together better than just try to piece it together. I think when we can line it up, I think we'll start to see some of those things. You may have to go out and ask some people who knew us back then, because I think that might be helpful to kind of trigger some stuff. I know for sure I need to talk to our friend Carol Maloney. She would know more about what happened, because I think she may have been trying to be funny, putting us all in a room together in Orlando. And little did she know. He's like, yeah, you jokers. I said, yeah, we are. We're all hilarious.
I worked with Carol when SWE hosted the conference, because she was the SWE chair.
She was.
And then I was helping out a lot when we hosted. I was like the cameraman. I was doing all kinds of stuff when they hosted I guess it was the Region 2 SWE conference.
Did anybody else know? Did anybody else know that Ty was such an ally for SWE? Did anybody else know that?
I had no idea.
Nope.
There's things we learned. These things we learned. Go ahead,
Things we
man.
learned.
You were the cameraman, and what else, brother? What else were you? Cameraman.
You were doing video too?
Yeah, man, video, cameraman, all kinds of stuff, man. I was helping out.
Gatorade carrier.
He said what?
Gatorade carrier.
Gatorade.
The Gatorade carrier. No, the ladies don't do no Gatorade.
Oh, that's the best.
Brian,
I
you
didn't
actually,
know Carol.
I was serving wine.
Yeah, he was an ally. I didn't know he was an ally like that. This is my first time hearing about this, Todd. I thought you just did PT in the morning, but you were training and stuff. That's cool. All right.
No, man.
Good. It's good.
actually,
this is-
Mike, you brought up an interesting. It might be cool to have a guest come in,
Yeah.
and elaborate on some things. So
Yeah, you all put together your list. I'll have no problem inviting anybody you want to bring to talk about some stuff. Like I said, there's some people who knew us, like the Hollies and others that could probably piece together stuff. I know Renetta and Holly need to get a call, because I know they would tell us some stuff from the beginning we wouldn't have noticed. But yeah, probably some brothers.
Renetta, Holly. I don't know. You guys remember Roland?
Yeah.
Roland Lewis, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roland would know a lot, probably more than we'd want to have on camera. So we might have to catch and vet him first.
Yeah, Roland's still crazy as all get out. So he had no cut card.
I saw him at homecoming right before the pandemic, like in 2017, 2018. He was hanging out at the wharf.
How's he doing?
He's great, man. He looks the same. So apparently whatever he's doing is keeping him looking young, because he kind of looked older because he was doing all them co-ops every 2 year kind of thing. So he was, he seemed to be a board of corporate affiliate member, and he was a student because he just seemed to know everybody. But yeah, he's well. We talked and hung out a little bit. He just, just living, bro. It's funny to see everybody you haven't seen in a while, but yeah, you would see him and look like he doesn't have the age today, because he's just been taking care of himself.
Cool.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, we got to get a few names. We'll see if we can piece together. The next part of the journey here, just so we can get us set up for our next time together, is really, I was looking at my notes here. It was based on, I guess, starting to answer the question of how we've grown as brothers. Just something to plant the seed, how we've grown as brothers. And this is going to be from whenever something happened in the 90s, when Chubb Rock jumped up on the scene, right, to now. So we can start to talk a little bit about some of those moments, try to capture some of those. So make sense?
Yeah, I think we grew close to road tripping.
I agree. Road tripping was the antidote.
That was
But I wasn't on many of those road trips though.
you weren't, but you were involved like with the like ESC, the Engineering Student Council stuff. So how do you roll in all this, Carlisle? Because you're right, you went on those road trips, man, but we knew you pretty good.
You what? You didn't go on any of those road trips?
Not many of them, no. Like
So-
I
Not
think
even.
But wait a minute. Well, I think
He
there
went
was,
to Penn State with
Yeah.
Chip, right? Chip and Sherrod. Y'all
I was
were
about to
fasting.
say-
Y'all are fasting together.
I was about to say, Tyler, do you remember when did we do that? When did we sell out Sherrod on that fast? What year was that?
but that was we showed him out in Georgia. We went
there
down
was-
to we went down to Georgia Tech because they were doing this minority recruiting thing, and we went to the beautiful and ate like
Beautiful.
savages.
Wow.
Oh, the
But that
beautiful.
had to have been 90,
Yeah.
That was
91,
beautiful.
92, because that Sherrod showed up the same year AT&T showed up. I think they showed up 91.
91, I believe, right? Yeah.
They were all together.
Uh-oh.
We won't be able to transcribe Carl.
But
Yeah.
I think Kevin hit the spot with the ESC and the ski trips like Anthony talked about. And then for me, ESC transitioned into NSB and IEEE. But my jump on you guys really relative to NSB was I was working out of headquarters with Roland. I was Roland's assistant for Board of Corporate Affiliates. And one person I mentioned before was Gabby. Gabby
Oh, yeah.
Burkhart. She's married now. I forgot her married name. She was the one that introduced me to, how the leadership of NSB worked. And at that time, that's when NSB started talking about developing a board of corporate affiliates. And she was very big on Kevin and big on Mike. And so she always talked about you guys. I met her, saw her because I was big about Motorola. And so we would have these kind of discussions, but I was working out in NSB for a minute out of headquarters, and that's how I got kind of linked into you guys with NSB. But then when y'all were doing road trips and had those conferences, I don't believe I was at the conferences, but I was in the NSB HQ meetings and not the student meetings and the other meetings that you guys were running.
So, yeah, go ahead, Todd.
No, I was gonna say, look, and maybe you were with, because we went on when we made the March Madness, we took a road trip to Dayton, in Cincinnati/Dayton, and we were there turning it out, whatnot. Did you go on that one, Carlisle? Because that was what, 92?
No, sir.
That was 92. I know I didn't make it. I didn't make that one either.
No,
I was recovering. I was recovering from pledging.
Oh, right. Okay.
I slept well that week.
I remember taking one road trip with Brian. I don't know where we went, but I remember the van. And I took 2 road trips with Chip.
It's crazy.
One of which was we sold our Sherrod.
Yeah, I sold him out bad.
And Byron, I knew Byron a lot because he was my roommate in a couple of my internships.
Yeah, see, it's putting it together. I already said, Ant's the one that got me on my road trip-itis. He would walk up to me on Fridays like, yo, man, let's roll. And I'd be like, all right, where are we going this weekend? A&T, somewhere. We're gonna roll, we're gonna make it. Yeah, let's get going. Wheels up.
Wheels up.
Yeah, like I said, we made our way down to Hampton, I believe, for some stuff. We made our way to Atlanta, definitely, for games and just hanging out. We definitely did some road trips to some I call them local NSBE conventions or conferences, and some that were, we went outside the lines a little bit, it was within reason.
Hey, you remember, I don't know, something just flashed. We went over to George Washington one time, and Will, right? Will?
Yeah, Will and Sam. Will and Sam.
Yeah. And I remember we was over there, and we was over there, it was, I forget who was there. I know Anthony was there. Because this dude, how we meet, we dap up each other, bro hug and all that. Anthony tried to do that to this one dude at GW, and dude, that dude freaked out. Anthony went to dap him, hey, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? The dude was like, hey, he almost had a stroke, dude, because everybody at HBCUs and Howard,
oh, God.
we were used to doing that. Yo, what's up? But apparently they don't do that, or they didn't do that at GW.
Oh my God.
That dude almost had a stroke when Anthony tried to dap him up, and oh my God, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Oh,
for whatever
gosh.
reason, because it was just mad funny to me. I couldn't stop laughing, dude. But yeah, Will was cool, people.
Yeah, so he transferred from GW. He didn't do well there after we saw him. He wound up going back to Greensboro.
Oh, okay.
I think he wound up, I don't know if he finished the A&T, but he definitely went back home. I saw him at church. Actually, I was going to church with Ruth when I first met her, and he came walking out. I'm like, man, you look familiar. And he says, yeah, I do, because I'm Will. It's like, wow, you're Will out of context. I'm thinking of Will at GW, not around all these Black people. So it was cool to see him.
Which Will is this? This isn't Will Langford. Different Will?
No. Will,
No.
it's
No,
like
he went to
Martin. Will Martin, I think his name was.
I have no idea what his last name was.
It's a brother. Yeah, his brother was, he went to, so, one of the things I guess we never really fully appreciated until we went to other campuses was how good we had it with so many brothers and sisters all together in engineering. So, these folks were trying to figure out how to create their communities. And so, whenever we'd hang out, that was their lifeline. And so I remember we made a trip over there. I think they were doing something. We were just trying to be supportive, we show up just to show up to show they have more help outside the campus, I guess. But and also, like I said, I saw him, he was a shell of himself when I saw him. That's why I didn't recognize him right away, and met his pops and everybody. But yeah, some folks that went into the fire didn't come out, polished on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, I remember Will. I just remember, so Ann will appreciate this, because Ann spends a lot of time with my daughters or whatever. So the one story they seem to hang on Ann is when we went to Hampton and we almost had to fight the queues because you decided to throw your paper maliciously at that young lady. Do you know that every time Ruth throws a piece of paper at the girls, she's like, I know you didn't throw that maliciously at me. Oh.
And what year was
so
that?
Funny. Shit, I don't know.
Bro, it was one of them road trip times, man. We just rolled down there.
And you know what was so funny about that tip is that the dude was like, he looked like he probably was like 5'2". He was a little guy.
Yeah.
And so we just laughed our ass off. I think it just made him even more mad.
Yeah.
He was being real serious, man. And me and Brian could not stop.
Oh my God.
This dude, man.
And him and his little guy, and they had they had big numbers on. So they were like 20, 30. I was like, they're tiny. We can take at least 2 of these guys. And then we realized it was reverse order. I said, yeah. Oh shit. Number one is like 6'8". We're gonna have to get back to the car.
But dude, man.
Oh, that was the best.
Man, we laughed the whole time, man.
But it was one of them things.
He was so angry too. He was mad. He was like, I'm going to come to the rescue of my sister.
That's right. He was defending her honor.
We just could not stop laughing.
It was funny now. Like, I know a couple of 90 Hampton Bros, and I swear I feel like one of them was it had to, I think it was 90, and I'm like, I bet you
It
it was
had to have been him.
that we was about to fight.
Oh man. I just remember just standing out there saying, really, we about to fight over a piece of paper? Maliciously thrown. My man was like, did you maliciously throw that at my sister? I'm like,
It's
piece
like,
of paper,
dude,
bro?
she is not that fine, dude. It's okay.
She's
I don't even remember why did I do that? I don't even remember what happened.
It wasn't because it wasn't even a big thing. It was just kind of like whatever. But she was like, I know you didn't. We're like, oh, come on. Nobody's getting in the club. Why are we all mad?
All right, I'm like, we came down here to have a good time. What are you angry about?
I promise you, Kayla and Ashley both will hit me with that malicious paper throwing all the time. We're like, hey, Dad, Mom threw this paper at me maliciously. I just know that she meant to do bodily harm. It's like a napkin. It's a napkin, bro. You killing me with the napkin.
Oh shit.
Hey, did I tell y'all? I think I might have told y'all. Maybe a few years ago.
Get ready, get ready. You know, time.
Here it is. This is the announcement we've been waiting on.
No, not this time. Not this time.
You ever been to Montana?
Yeah, because I was at my church and I was looking at the choir and I was like, and then at the mega churches, right? They have the big, jumbotrons or whatever that you can see. And I was like, I know her. And I was like, oh, that's Valerie from Penn State.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she had been singing it in the choir, man, now I haven't seen her recently, since within the past, I don't know, at least 6 months or to a year or so, but yeah, man, she was singing at the church and my, and I went to talk, this is like before COVID, and I went to talk to her a few times, man. I was like, matter of fact,
It's funny.
she was at my party, I think. I think she and you remember she was at the party? No.
Chip, was she there? Was she there, Chip? Was she there?
I don't remember, but the girl got pipes. She could sing. She could blow. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, Chip. Yeah, her and her mom gave me a ride to my hotel one time. I flew in and they were on the same flight. And she says, hey, you need a ride? I'm like, sure. Then as she dropped me off, she says, tell Chip I said hi. I said, oh yeah, definitely will. Definitely will. Yeah. Look at you guys.
Penn State.
Now, just for reference, Penn State is not near Carnegie Mellon. Just want to make sure you.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying, you got Happy Valley is in the middle.
So now, what year was it? So did we go to Penn State?
We did. And how how that sticks out in my mind is that was the first time we all were on stage lip syncing to Scenario in front of a bunch of people that said, man, these guys really love themselves because they're up there giving their all. Yes, that was when we did the lip sync on stage doing Scenario.
What year was it?
So the song didn't come out to 91, so it had to be 91, 92, maybe. I don't know. But that was when we were there.
All right.
It was a fall conference at Penn State. No. Well, I don't know, fall or spring.
It was probably spring. Probably spring, Kev. Probably spring.
Yeah, but I'll make
so did we did that more than once?
So we do it every time we get together now. So you can't count those.
I'm saying,
I mean, I could literally be driving in the car and I'll go through all the parts and I'll run out of breath before I get to Busta Rhymes because I'll be trying to do everybody's part. That's right. After you get to check your little draws because your pants are sagging, everything gets a little breathy after that. So, but yeah, no, we did it on stage, like for real.
No, but we did it on stage at the non-talent show.
So that was
in the engineering library.
But that was Mr. Engineering. That was the one that Chip won because he's saying just another day in engineering. No, he didn't do that. He did win, though,
No,
right?
no. There was 2 different events.
He still has
right?
the
Wasn't
sash
it?
and everything. He has the sash and everything. Chip. Don't you still have the
There
sash?
was I'm pretty sure there was 2 different events. There was the Mr. Engineering. There was the Mr. Engineering contest. You know, when we was all back on stage doing push-ups, trying to get all buff
That's right.
and all of that. There was that, but then there was it was called the non-talent show. And we all was like, all right, what we gonna do? You know, we should do something. What we gonna do? Oh, I know. Hey, let's go get on the stage and lip sync scenario. And that's what we did. I think Chip started it. And then like we just kind of like rolled with it that way.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it's in the engineering library. It was on stage.
Engineering library. I don't doubt it. I'm just telling you, when we went to Penn State, we did that joint.
You know who can get to corroborate my story?
Who's that?
David Bowman. Because he talks about that all the time. Like, man, I remember when y'all did scenario in the engineering library, da. He'll bring that up like, you know, every blue moon or whatever.
I'll add him to the list of guest stars to kind of help us understand what happened here.
Yeah.
So I got Renetta, I got Holly, Carol, David. Looks like we'll need to get Dawn Comer, Jill, and
Valerie. Yeah.
Valerie.
Well, okay. So here's a random memory that I have.
What's that?
This is the beginning of the Jill. It was either this one we had to redact out.
Redact all of it. Yes, it's all redacted.
Space Ghost.
It's only because he has the sound effect on his voice that made it funny.
So it was okay. Well, actually, let me ask this.
Yeah.
When did we go to Los Angeles?
90.
That would be 91. Yeah.
We went to New York. We went to New York in 92.
I remember having this random, very misogynistic, sexist discussion in the classroom, and I feel like Ed and maybe Brian was there, and it was like, who are we gonna get on? And it was like it's either gonna be Becky Bowman or and it was just like it was like a roll of the dice. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with Jill. And I think I set out to try to do it in LA because I sat next to her on the plane and the whole but it was just so random and misogynistic that I felt like, I could get on whoever I want to get on. Just name a person.
He said, I'm the man.
I remember it came down to like Becky Bowman and Jill. And I was like, I'll choose Jill.
Oh, that's the best. Oh, that's the best.
And so started my demise.
That's it. That's it. You got Carlisle singing Space Ghost up here, man. That's hilarious.
Space Ghost.
But whatever year that was, I know we were definitely close enough to have that ridiculous.
We were. That 90-91 range was it. Again, to Kevin's point, there were a bunch of trips and stuff and just shared experiences that probably kicked a lot of stuff into it because that was everything. Every day felt like an adventure, right? So definitely the trips are always fun because people had their plans. Some of them worked, some of them didn't.
So when you say trips, that was even before we moved in together.
Correct.
Into the house, right?
Yes. Because you got to remember, Ed graduated a little earlier, but I remember road tripping him until he wasn't road tripping no more. That's when he went out to the wilderness and came back and said, I'm getting married. We were like, fuck, what are you doing, bro?
The wilderness.
How bad is it? How bad is it in Ohio? He says it's cold out here.
It's that bad. It's cold. It's cold.
I remember he came back for homecoming, man. No, because you graduate in the fall.
Yep.
I graduated in the fall, so I was finished in I finished in December. So I think I started work in January or February. I think you guys came up in like March for the tournament game.
Right.
did.
And I think I was probably in DC like shit, probably every other, maybe like at least once a month. Maybe it might be more than that.
I remember Ant coming back. He was like, "Yo, it's another world.
You don't want to be out here.
No honeys out there." I was like,
don't want to
is
be
that
out
bad?
here.
Doom and gloom.
I was like, dude, man, there's nothing worse than being in a club and having a bunch of twos look at you like, how come you not buying me a drink? I'm like, are you serious? Where am I? Why am I
you
here?
gotta get a whole pack of them to add them up to 10. Is that terrible?
Bunch of twos, huh?
But yeah, so Todd, the road tripping started as early as, like I said, the fall 89 through definitely 91, 92, because I know that it seemed like every time we had a chance to road trip, we would. So homecomings were there. We, definitely did some Nesby trips, because the Nesby trip I think you're talking about, the butt naked clothes in the sink joint was that was up in near Lafayette, like on the east side of the state. So it was in the woods. So it was like at a chalet. And it was like a house party. I remember you all there because Kevin and I were in meetings, and you guys were like, we'll see you later. We'll see you later. Right? It was like pajama jammy jam type joint. And of course, you guys were the heart of the party. So let us know that whatever was going on, you were already in the middle of it. So it was good,
So that was at Lafayette, you said?
Yeah, Lafayette hosted that one. I remember that.
Oh, okay.
What year? We got to go throw these years
So
out.
the year would have been 90 spring 90. No, that's not spring 90. It's 91. Fall 91. So it'd been 91, maybe 91. Spring 91, maybe. I have to look it up. I got to find a timeline with that. But like I said, we'll have to figure that part out. But like I said, the road trips definitely started us, getting to know each other and all that. I remember the announcement when Chip said he was going to be a comedian while we were road tripping, and we were like, wow.
And for my next joke.
Right. He said, tell you what, I'm about to be a comedian. You're like, wow. Okay. So what's the job description of a comedian, bro? Like, what you doing with that? He's like, yo, man, tell jokes.
Dude, did we watch you perform at a Nesby conference? Did you? I know I saw you do stand up with Carlos Mencia. Where was that?
That was in Houston.
Was that a Nesby conference in Houston?
It had to be
around that same time.
I know you performed during. You were performing because a lot of us were there because of Nesby stuff, and we came to check you out because you opened for Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah, Carlos Mencia, Rushion McDonald. It was his club.
So it was Texas. That was Texas, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you was doing stand up before you got to LA.
Well, no, that was.
No, he had already been in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd already.
I don't even know how this happened.
Okay.
I remember seeing you before when you had the whole club. Everybody's like, Chip. He's like, yeah.
So you were already living in LA
at that point. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hadn't
came out for a comment. I don't know what made. Well, yeah, I don't know. Again, you would think my brain has been on drugs because
this is news to me, right?
Because I can't.
Yeah, I didn't go on that road trip.
Is that Rushion McDonald who worked with Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit, Carlo. What did you say?
I didn't know when he said Rushion McDonald. I'm thinking about Rushion McDonald from Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's manager, original manager.
Yeah, that's him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's good. So like I said, we'll piece it together. I'll see if we can get a couple of special guests to join us soon. But like I said, the next prompt is kind of how we grew together, on different places. So just think about those different stories. We'll see if we can capture them and start piecing them on a timeline here. But this is good, man. You've affirmed that I probably need to change my diet a little bit, Kev, to work on my memory because it's fading me right now.
I got a key word for you guys.
What's that?
Country crock.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That was big in the house.
Yeah, definitely.
The tub size.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
I
say,
think-
Kev? Kevin, what were you gonna say?
When I think of country crock, I think of Byron.
Yes,
Me
right.
too. Me too. Me
And,
too.
and biscuits.
Brand's biscuits.
Very
think
big,
think
very
Byron-
large biscuits.
Brand's biscuits and a dirty kitchen that we never ever seem to clean.
Hey, Kev, what
No,
was
never.
what was Tim Horton's girl that stayed for there a little bit? She used to walk around with no panties on, be sitting on the furniture. What was her girl? You know what I'm talking about? I just remember.
It wasn't a pleasant experience.
As Aunt said, she was a two.
Oh.
She was a two.
Yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about her. She was
a two. She was a two trying to perpetrate as a seven.
This is not working for us.
Right?
This is a whole lot better than the movies. It's the real
I'm just
deal.
saying. That's right.
right. She was loud, wasn't she?
Retraction.
That's right. We're gonna edit all this stuff. I'm just saying.
Oh, she was mad loud.
Mm,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
I mean, like in more ways than one.
You guys remember we had the party at the house?
Yeah.
I'm DJ. That was a fat
Mhm.
party.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
did we
Yeah.
fly back for that one or was that during homecoming? I can't remember.
No, it was fall
I was like,
91. I'm not sure.
yeah,
It was fall 91. You
that was
hadn't played.
fun. That's right. That's right. So that would have been the happier times.
I think my brother was there for that.
He was, yeah.
He was.
Trevor, because he talks
Yeah.
about that. He talks about being there for homecoming.
Oh yeah. No, that was Central. We played Central State. I remember that because there's a Chip had he had a bunch of campus sweethearts come by the house. That was nice. You all right, man? You good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
is good.
bet.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up. Let me stop this recording so brothers can breathe.